Matvei Michkov, the name Flyers fans have been waiting for it to explode. Last season, he was untouchable, a rookie sensation tearing through the league. But this year, a slow start, a disappearing act, and questions about whether Philly's future superstar is really ready for the spotlight. Today, we break down everything from Michkov's admission to taking 4 months off from hockey, something that he's never done before in his career, to flashes of brilliance that remind us why the Flyers are betting it all on this Russian phenom. So buckle up. This story's just getting started. The Flyers entered this season with a simple truth. Michkov's success is tied directly to the franchise's future. After a dazzling rookie year, fans weren't just hoping for good. They were expecting great. But as the puck dropped, the Russian winger looked different, slower, hesitant, unsure. And that hesitation showed up in his stats. Just 5 points through 10 games, including a 3-game scoring drought. The spark that made Michkov the talk of the league last year seemed absent. Flyers fans, used to seeing him take over games, were left questioning if the hype was premature. Could this be a sophomore slump or something bigger? And as Michkov struggled, head coach Rick Tocchet made a decision that would shock many, limiting Michkov's ice time. But is it the right call? Or is it a move that could backfire? Flyers fans have found themselves divided, but the next chapter would reveal just how much this slump was tied to something hidden beneath the surface. Watching Michkov in those first few games was painful. The explosive skating and fearless decision-making that defined his rookie season were nowhere to be found. Instead, he hesitated, rarely shot the puck, and seemed unsure of when to create plays. The aura of confidence that made him special last year had disappeared. And as his minutes were reduced, the pressure mounted. Fans questioned whether he was mentally ready for the NHL spotlight or if something was physically holding him back. The whispers grew louder. Could this be the start of a long-term slump? Or was Michkov simply fighting through a rough patch? Behind the curtain, the reasons for Michkov's struggles were more complicated than anyone realized, and they would shock Flyers fans everywhere. Rick Tocchet is a coach who values grit, pace, and accountability. And in his eyes, Michkov was falling short. To some, it looked like a clash between old-school coaching and a young superstar. By reducing Michkov's minutes, Tocchet sent a message. Performance comes first. Before a 20-year-old expected to carry a franchise, sitting on the bench wasn't easy. Fans debated whether Tocchet's been too harsh, but this decision may have been what Michkov needed. So the turning point's now coming. A flash of brilliance that reminded everyone why Michkov has been so hyped in the first place. Against Ottawa, Michkov reminded everyone what he was capable of. Battling through contact from Jake Sanderson, he found the lane to the slot and ripped the shot past Linus Ullmark. It wasn't just a goal. It was a statement. The poise, the confidence, and the creativity missing all season suddenly returned in one shift. Fans finally saw glimpses of the player they fell in love with. But this brilliance raised new questions. Was this the real Michkov returning, or just a one-game fluke? And next comes the revelation that explains so much about why he struggled. A confession that's left fans in Philly stunned. After the Ottawa game, Michkov dropped a bombshell. He admitted the reason for his rough start. Truly, I was rested for 4 months. No hockey. Training was not the same. 4 months off for a player expected to lead the Flyers into the future? That was shocking to hear. Fans and media alike were stunned. How could a future star skip nearly half a year and still be counted on to produce? The context behind those 4 months would make all the difference, but the optics, they're pretty brutal. 4 months away from hockey sounds disastrous, especially for a 20-year-old trying to follow up a rookie season of which he scored 63 points. Combined with his ankle injury and whispers of off-ice distractions, the narrative painted a nightmare scenario. Was Michkov prioritizing rest over development? Was this the moment where the Flyers' future could be slipping away? The truth might not be as bad as it sounds, but we're going to take a closer look anyway. From a fan perspective, the news looks terrible. While other young stars were training, Michkov appeared to be on pause. Rumors about a car accident in Dubai didn't help. The story was shaping into a cautionary tale. talent alone isn't enough if preparation and focus are missing. There's also speculation that language barriers and youth may have also skewed perception. Michkov's young, he's adapting, and he's trying to navigate a whirlwind NHL spotlight. Behind the headlines, there could be another explanation, one that makes more sense when you consider Michkov's development path. Maybe Michkov could have meant when he said that taking 4 months off was stepping away from on-ice training. Instead, he focused on the gym to build strength and mass, essential for a young player transitioning to heavier, faster NHL schedules. The downside? Losing rhythm, timing, and confidence with the puck. By the start of the season, his body was stronger, but his game hasn't fully caught up. The first dozen games absolutely reflect that. But this story doesn't even end there. Michkov's still learning, and he's learning fast, and the lessons could pay off big time. With each game, Michkov is regaining confidence, poise, and creativity. The rust is fading, the passes are sharpening, and the skating is regaining his explosiveness. This rough patch may have been a blessing in disguise, a challenge to test his resilience and mental toughness. Flyers fans began to breathe again, hoping the worst is behind them, and Michkov's early struggles reminded everyone, even superstars need time to grow. And while Michkov's finding his rhythm, Flyers fans are finally taking a glimpse into what the future could hold, a star ready to take over games.
When you're on the ice, not a word really needs to be spoken. That was the beauty of being a Flyer.
I've played with a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, but that was the closest group of teammates I've ever played with.
In football, you need that quarterback to be special. In hockey, you need your goaltender to be special. And Pelly was just beginning to emerge as a player.
Pelly wanted so desperately to be a star in the NHL. It's what he wanted most.
Billy Lindbergh. Thank you, Bernie.
By all accounts, Pelly was not a drinker.
He picked his spots carefully. He would drink, but to be impaired, intoxicated, very rare.
And then the next thing I know, all I seen was a white wall. I said, Pelly, there's a white wall. There's a white wall.
It was a horrific scene. The car was mangled.
The headlight in front of Pelly had to be back 3 feet from where it initially should have been.
I read an article, you almost got into the Porsche. Is that true?
Not really. Me and Murray Craven lived 3 blocks from the establishment, so we just walked home.
Catching the wall right here in this corner, it was devastating.
And he went into cardiac arrest, and CPR was started immediately.
Talked to the police. I asked him, I said, is he going to be okay? And the police officer said, he'll be lucky to live.
Police officer asked us if we had to identify a body. And I remember looking at Murray, and Murray goes, I can't do it. My gut was turning, and I didn't know what to do.
And he passed away when I was holding his hand. You know,
that moment,
yeah. And so we were destined to be a team.
Pelly, I don't blame you. I never blamed you. I wish I could take that day back. And so many people you've touched in your life miss you.
To make a long story short, the slow start is starting to fade, and Michkov is showing signs of the player that he's meant to be. If this trajectory continues, Philly's future looks brighter than ever. The lessons from this summer, rest, recovery, and reflection, might have been exactly what Michkov needed. And when Matvei Michkov finds his rhythm, he doesn't just play hockey. He changes a game all by himself. Flyers fans are ready to witness it. Matvei Michkov's back, and the fire seems to be rekindled. The slow start, the 4-month mystery, the doubts, all part of the journey for Philly's future superstar. But if this trend continues, Matvei Michkov isn't just returning. He's about to take the Flyers to an entire new level. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. You don't want to miss a single game. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe. In the meantime, don't forget to keep it high, keep it wide. I'll see you guys next time on HW Hockey.
Thanks for watching HW Hockey. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.